Hey everyone, Jeff here from Films at Home, and today we finally got the unsinkable 4K UHD release. So today we're going to dive into Titanic. This is the 25th anniversary collector's edition that Paramount sent me. We're going to dive into the video quality and the audio quality on this disc itself and the new transfer, and I'm also going to talk extensively about the packaging and your different options and whether or not this set here is really worth the money. So first up, let's talk about the visuals, and I'm very, very happy to report that this is no Terminator 2 transfer disaster. Titanic looks really, really good here. It has nice fine detail, and although the grain isn't maybe what you'd expect, it's not because it's been wiped clean. There's not a lot of digital noise reduction, although every film has that to some degree when it's transferred to digital. This is just a matter of the film stock that was used. And talking to my friend Adam Yeend, who knows a lot about this film transfer, it's very similar to something like Deep Impact, which people also thought was DNR scrubbed, but in reality isn't. In that time period of like the mid to late 90s, there was a certain film stock, and I don't know the details fully on this, that just wasn't as sharp as some others. And so what results is an image that could sometimes almost look a little digitally processed, but it's not. It's just a matter of different film stock being used, and it's a different look and feel than something from the 80s or the 70s or the 60s, which is typically people's reference points when they're looking at movies shot on film, because there was this very, very small time period in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s before things went digital where they were kind of experimenting with this new film stock. That's what I understand. So you don't have a ton of reference points on that look, but if you do know that going into it, it looks incredible. I thought the colors enhanced here with Dolby Vision were also great. If you look at the Blu-ray, at times now it can look a little bit flat, and it's not just color, it's also depth. The depth of the image really helps it pop off the screen with that Dolby Vision and with HDR. That's a huge piece of what HDR does, is added depth, added shadow depth, added color depth. Everything looks not necessarily 3D, but like 4K definitely has a look to it that has that full depth that, an original film reel would be able to pull out of an image if it was pristine. It doesn't have sort of a flat presentation like a Blu-ray does, and Titanic definitely suffered from that, like many Blu-rays do, and then the HDR 4K upgrade really shines and takes it to the next level. And I'm very happy to report that there's no Terminator 2 issues. They didn't use a 3D transfer and try to turn that into 4K, which is what caused a lot of the Terminator 2 transfer issues on 4K. They got a real 4K scan here from original negatives, and it really does look fantastic. And to be honest, even for 1997, where some of the CGI lives, which, sometimes can almost look uncanny valley when it comes to 4K, especially some of those older movies because it's so much more exposed. I thought it actually blended really, really well here. Like, they blended the CGI into the image here about as well as they did in like Lord of the Rings, which I also thought looked fantastic. So I'm really liking the picture quality. This is by far the best that Titanic has ever looked, and it's probably the peak of Titanic at this point. Now, along with the Dolby Vision HDR and the new 4K scan, we also get an incredible Dolby Atmos upgrade. And I will say the movie has never sounded as good as it does here, and I'm very happy that Cameron and the team went back and remastered this for Dolby Atmos, because especially the last hour of the movie definitely deserves it. Even from the opening scenes in the port as the ship is starting to take off, I mean, that crowd atmosphere and the music and the environment, really, really incredible work on the audio. Dialogue's crystal clear, and I thought it did a fairly good job with Atmos and that object-based surround. You really do get some things hopping around your sound system. The heights especially got to work out. One of my favorite moments is when the ship splits in two, and you sort of have, you have the ship way up in the air, right? And people falling down, and people hanging on to the tip of the ship and falling off, and the creaking and the cracking, like the height effects there were really cool. I didn't think it was like super, super heavy on the bass side, but I don't ever remember the movie being this way. However, in those big moments when you hit the iceberg, when the ship breaks, when it starts to go down, and you've got that creaking and you've got that low You've got a massive ship just being, sunk into the water. A lot of good bass moments there. Now, there's also some really nice musical moments that stand out in the film, but a lot of it is, fairly dialogue driven. Although Celine Dion, she's never sounded as good as she does here on this audio track. So overall, the AV presentation is really good. I think this is the culmination of a lot of years of work. A lot of people put time and effort into this release and this remaster. Audio, visuals, HDR color grading. It's been years in the making, but I do think it was all worth it to see Titanic in this way. It's a very, very impressive presentation. Now for the packaging and features. Like I said, I've got the collector's edition here, 25th anniversary Titanic. Now this set has this black slipcover, which my fingerprints are all over already, but this slides off, and then you get this really beautiful artwork on the inside of Kate and Leo doing their thing. And so if you had a set like some of those old Warner Brothers like big box sets they did for like Singing in the Rain, or there was one for JFK or the 10 Commandments, like it's kind of relatively that same thickness. Now, as you slide this out, you'll see that on the inside you do have your Titanic 25th anniversary hardcover book, and you have your pack full of extras. So let's do the book first. The book is a little bit less than what I expected, to be honest. Basically every page is a breakdown of a scene, okay? So you've got like, I want you to draw me, and you've got I'm flying, and you've got, the make each day count. So like they pull a quote from the scene. They'll have a little diagram of, where the scene took place. And, that's all good and dandy. It's got some high quality photos in it, but it's really, I want to guess, maybe 30 pages long. So it's not like they kind of marketed it as a big coffee table book, which like it sort of is, but it's not like the big Oppenheimer book that I just got to go with my 4K release, which was 250 pages. It's not quite that level. Then on the back is where you get the 4K and the Blu-ray disc, and they're in cardboard sleeves, which you cannot slide them out of. So they have this little lip on the edge, so you kind of have to get up underneath the disc, like with your nail, kind of pop it out and then pull it up. To be honest, I kind of hate the design because it's not easy to get the discs out. You really have to kind of pick at the side of the disc, which you never know how much damage you're doing there. So I really, really don't like what they did for that. And it's not really great as a coffee table book if it also holds your discs. Like you wouldn't want to put this out necessarily on display somewhere where it could fall, get water on it, whatever. It has your discs in it too. It's the disc holder. I would have liked to see them have the discs packaged separately. So outside of that, then you've also got this little package here, which has all the extras, all the goodies. And it comes in this cool white star line package. Opening it up. Now, what's on the inside? You've got a replica ticket for the Titanic. You've got a first class dinner menu. You've got a second class dinner menu. A third class dinner menu. You've got a third class like registration paper here, the little replica note, which is cool, and then another replica note here from Rose. They also include the sheet music for My Heart Will Go On, and a quasi blueprint. I wouldn't necessarily call it a blueprint, but it does show you where each of the different scenes, which are highlighted in the coffee table book, take place within the ship. But that's it for the extras. So they're all just like paper props, essentially. So while the packaging is nice, it's quality stuff, the slipcover 25th anniversary, that's nice. The book is nice. Is this worth $135, which is what it was selling for the last time I checked? I would say 100% no. Like, I'm sorry. I appreciate the effort that went into this, and I love seeing sets like this, but to me, this is like a $70 to $80 set. I can't imagine paying more than $100, never mind $135 for what's included here, because it really is just paper props, a 30-page book, and some unique packaging, which is all nice, but I think that's got to be at a $70 price point max, and I think you will see this drop down considerably. So if you do want this set and you were excited about it, I think wait until the price drops. I can't justify it, and even using Paramount's own releases as an example, Paramount Scares Volume 1 was a 6-movie 4K box set with equally great packaging. It included an exclusive edition of Fangoria magazine. It had a pin. It had 6 movies, all with individual new artwork, new slipcovers, like a beautiful set that retailed for $99. I mean, that's 6 movies plus an exclusive magazine, which is kind of equal to the coffee table book. I don't know. I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, if that was 100, this needs to be like 70. So it's very impressive. It's very cool. I appreciate the effort, but I just can't get behind the price point on this when I can get other box sets. You know, even think about a Columbia Classics box set, which has a bigger booklet, also has 6 movies and equally great packaging. Those are going for $60-$70, and at release those were going for like $150. I can justify it for a set like that. I can't justify it for this. I think what you're paying for here, there's a little bit of a premium because it's James Cameron, because it's Titanic, and because there's definitely a nostalgic tie to this movie that, you know, I think they can sell it at a higher price than maybe it's worth. So I personally would not buy this at $135. I would get the standard edition if I was you. Now, on the special features, the great thing about this is they don't shortchange you there. It has over 15 hours of bonus features included. One of the highlights is a new documentary, which is called Titanic: Stories from the Heart. It has new interviews with James Cameron, John Lando, and Kate Winslet. There's also a new fan art gallery. There are 3 different commentaries, and then there's a ton of legacy special features which you got on past releases of the film. All kinds of behind the scenes stuff. I mean, you guys know how James Cameron does this stuff. He not only makes a movie, but he almost makes 3 other movies about how he made the movie. He does it with Avatar. He's done it with The Abyss. Like, he does this with his films. So a very, very cool look there. But again, you could get that with the standard edition. So overall thoughts, is Titanic worth buying on 4K 100%? It's a great disc, great visuals, great audio. Is Titanic worth buying for $135 for the special collector's edition? No. In my opinion, that's a hard no. I would wait for that to drop by about 50%, $65, $70. Then you get yourself a buyer. So for now, I would recommend just the standard 4K release with the standard slipcover. It's going to get you the same great visual quality and audio. It's going to get you the special features. You're just going to miss out on the premium packaging, which, to be honest, to me, isn't all that premium. So if you want to buy this one, I will leave a link in the description. If you need that collector's set, hey, I won't judge you. That link will be down there, but I'll also have a link to that standard edition, which is the one I would recommend at this time. So thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope this helped give you some insights into Titanic, what you can expect on 4K. I think this is a great sign. If the same teams that work on Titanic work on True Lies and The Abyss, and I believe it is the same teams, we have a very, very good chance of those all being excellent releases on 4K as well. So this was a great sign to see a James Cameron catalog title get a great treatment. If you want more videos like this, reviews, movie news, home theater, physical media, all that fun stuff, make sure you subscribe here to the channel. I have all kinds of videos for you. And of course, follow me on social media. We got hundreds of thousands of you following over on Instagram and TikTok and everywhere else. So those links are all in the description, as well as right here by scanning the QR code if you're watching on a TV. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy out there, and I'll talk to you all soon.